somewhere. Right now, an animal is being rewritten, not by a scientist, not by a virus, by something older, slower, and far more patient, evolution itself. Over millions of years, a handful of creatures didn't just adapt to survive. They crossed a line. They became something closer to monster than animal. Fused bodies, stolen minds, living weapons, creatures that refuse to die. This is the story of 6 transformations evolution never meant to explain. The animals that became monsters. Chapter 1. The anglerfish, the vanishing male. 2 miles down, where sunlight has never touched water, a female anglerfish drifts alone, a glowing lure swaying above her jaws like a lantern in a grave. She is not alone for long. A male anglerfish, 100th her size, finds her by scent alone, and when he does something no other vertebrate on Earth does. He bites into her flesh and never lets go. His mouth fuses to her skin, their blood vessels merge. Over weeks his eyes dissolve, his fins disappear. His organs shut down, one by one, until he is no longer an individual animal at all, just a permanent, pulsing sack of sperm riding inside her body for the rest of her life. Some females carry 6 of these former males fused into their sides. Biologists call it sexual parasitism. In the crushing dark of the deep sea, evolution didn't build a courtship. It built a permanent, living graft. Chapter 2. The zombie and fungus. In the rainforests of Thailand, a single spore lands on the back of a carpenter ant. Within hours, it's inside her. Cordyceps unilateralis, the zombie ant fungus, begins to grow through her body, and something extraordinary happens. It doesn't kill her yet. It takes the wheel. The infected ant abandons her colony entirely. She climbs, driven by a compulsion that isn't hers, to a precise height. Roughly 25 centimeters above the forest floor, the exact humidity and temperature the fungus needs to reproduce. There, in her final act, she clamps her jaws around a leaf vein in what scientists call the death grip and holds on. Then the fungus kills her. A stalk erupts from the back of her skull, showering spores onto the ants below. She was never in control. Her body was simply the vehicle. Chapter 3. The mantis shrimp, the living weapon. In the shallow reefs of the Indo-Pacific hides a creature the size of a finger, armed like nothing else in the animal kingdom. The peacock mantis shrimp strikes with its claws at over 80 kilometers an hour. So fast the water around it boils, literally. The strike creates a cavitation bubble that collapses with such force it generates a flash of light and heat briefly rivaling the surface of the sun. The shrimp can shatter aquarium glass. It can crack a crab shell in a single blow delivered with the acceleration of a bullet leaving a gun. And its eyes are just as alien. Where humans see with 3 color receptors, the mantis shrimp has 16 perceiving wavelengths of light, including ultraviolet and polarized light, that no human will ever see. It doesn't just look like a monster. By any measurable standard, it fights like one. Chapter 4. The immortal jellyfish. Off the coast of Japan lives a jellyfish barely the size of a fingernail, and it may be the only animal on Earth that has cheated death entirely. When Turritopsis dohreni is injured, starved, or aging, it does something no other known animal can. It reverses. Its adult cells revert to an earlier developmental stage, and its entire body collapses back into a polyp, the juvenile form it was, before it was ever an adult. Then it grows up again, from scratch. As many times as it needs to. Barring predation or disease, this jellyfish doesn't die of old age, ever. Marine biologists have a quiet name for what it does, biological immortality, and they still don't fully understand how it works. Chapter 5. The tongue-eaten louse. Inside the mouth of a spotted rose snapper lives a parasite that doesn't just feed on its host, it replaces part of it. Cymathoa exigua enters through a fish's gills as a larva, then crawls into the mouth and clamps onto the base of the tongue. It drinks blood until the tongue withers away entirely, and then it attaches itself to the stub of muscle left behind and becomes the fish's new tongue. The fish keeps living, keeps eating, using a living crustacean as a mouthpart for the rest of its life, apparently unharmed by the swap. It is the only known parasite in nature that functionally replaces an organ of its host, not destroying the body, but rewriting its function entirely. Chapter 6. The axolotl, the body that never stops rebuilding. In the last remaining canals of Lake Xochimilco, Mexico, a smiling pink-gilled salamander holds a secret regeneration scientists have chased for a century. Cut off an axolotl's leg and it doesn't scar. It regrows. Bone, muscle, blood vessels, nerves, perfectly patterned in a matter of weeks. Slice its spinal cord and it heals without paralysis. Damage its heart or even part of its brain and it rebuilds the tissue, sometimes without a single visible scar. Most animals, humans included, respond to injury with scar tissue, a patch, not a repair. The axolotl cells do something almost unheard of. They revert to a stem cell-like state at the wound site and rebuild the limb from nothing, as if development never stopped. It survives by refusing to stay finished. None of these creatures set out to become monstrous. There was no design, no intention, only pressure, time, and survival applied for millions of years until the results stopped looking like adaptation and started looking like horror. A fish that becomes an organ, an ant that becomes a puppet, a jellyfish that refuses to die. Evolution doesn't create monsters on purpose, it creates whatever survives. Sometimes, that's simply the most disturbing solution the natural world has ever found, hiding, right now, somewhere in the dark. If nature can rewrite the rules this completely, what else is it quietly working on? Subscribe for more evolution mysteries.